What if the secret to transforming your life isn't about achieving more, but about focusing on what truly matters? You. Imagine this. It's early morning in ancient Rome. The bustling city is waking up, but Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest philosopher kings, sits quietly by a flickering lamp. Despite ruling an empire, his thoughts aren't consumed by power or conquest. Instead, he writes a profound truth in Meditations. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Fast forward to today. The world is noisier, faster, and more demanding than ever. Endless notifications, relentless comparisons, and the pursuit of validation have left us drained and disconnected from what truly matters. But what if we paused? What if we chose, like Marcus Aurelius, to reclaim our time and energy? Not for others, but for ourselves. This isn't selfish, it's revolutionary. Focusing on yourself is the foundation of a meaningful life, and Stoicism offers timeless wisdom to guide the way. In this article, we'll explore 5 transformative principles that will help you stop wasting time, find clarity, and live with purpose. Ready to begin? Let's take the first step toward reclaiming your life together. Principle 1. Stop comparing yourself to others. The first step to focusing on yourself is to let go of the habit that steals your peace. Comparison. It's a silent thief, slipping into your thoughts as you scroll through social media, overhear colleagues boasting about achievements, or see others seemingly ahead in life. It whispers doubts, distorts reality, and drains your energy. But what if you could free yourself from its grip? What if, instead of asking, "Am I as good as them?" you asked, "Am I better than I was yesterday?" This mindset shift, inspired by the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, has the power to transform not only how you view others, but also how you see yourself. Consider Lucas, a young and talented musician. For years, Lucas poured his soul into his music, crafting melodies that moved hearts. Yet he refused to share his work publicly. Every time he thought of performing, a familiar wave of anxiety held him back. He would watch celebrated artists online, their flawless performances and massive audiences, and feel paralyzed. "I'll never be as good as them," he thought, dismissing his own talent. Then one day, while wandering through a bookstore, Lucas stumbled upon a quote from Epictetus. "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Those words resonated deeply. Lucas realized his obsession with external validation, wanting to match or surpass others, was suffocating his creativity. Comparison wasn't inspiring him to grow, it was holding him hostage. Lucas made a decision. He would no longer measure his worth against others. Instead, he would focus on improving his craft and finding joy in the process. His first public performance wasn't perfect, but it was real, authentic, and deeply fulfilling. As he shifted his attention inward, he discovered that his self-worth wasn't tied to applause or recognition, but to the genuine effort he put into his art. This simple yet profound change freed Lucas, allowing his passion to flourish unburdened by the weight of comparison. Stoicism teaches us that comparison is a mental trap, one that distracts us from what truly matters, our own growth and alignment with our values. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, emphasized this in Meditations. How much time he gains who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does or thinks, but only at what he does himself. The wisdom here is clear. Every moment spent measuring ourselves against others is a moment lost from building the life we desire. When we compare, we often focus on someone else's highlight reel while ignoring our unique challenges, progress, and context. This false comparison leads to dissatisfaction, envy, and a loss of focus. In the digital age, this challenge is amplified. Social media bombards us with curated glimpses into the lives of others, their promotions, vacations, and seemingly effortless successes. These snapshots can trigger feelings of inadequacy, making us question our own worth. But as Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. The key is to remember that what we see is not reality. It's a filtered version designed to impress, not reflect the full truth. Breaking free from comparison requires conscious effort, but it's a practice that yields profound rewards. One way to start is by celebrating your own achievements, no matter how small. Each day, take a moment to reflect on 3 things you're proud of, whether it's completing a challenging task, showing kindness to someone, or simply making it through a tough day. These reflections help you shift your focus from what you lack to what you've accomplished, fostering gratitude and self-respect. Another transformative practice is to compare yourself only to who you were yesterday. Instead of asking, "Am I better than them?" ask, "Am I better than I was last week?" This perspective not only nurtures personal growth, but also liberates you from the endless cycle of measuring yourself against others. Imagine how empowering it would feel to chart your progress without the shadow of comparison looming over you. Lucas's story is a reminder that stepping away from comparison doesn't mean complacency. It means reclaiming your energy for what truly matters, your own journey. His decision to embrace his imperfections and share his music opened doors he never imagined. Likewise, you have the power to redirect your focus inward, harnessing your potential without being derailed by external standards. Picture the freedom of living authentically, without the constant burden of proving your worth to anyone but yourself. Ask yourself this: when was the last time you compared yourself to someone else? Did it inspire you, or did it make you feel inadequate? Reflect on how much energy you've spent trying to match others' achievements, and consider what could happen if you invested that energy into your growth instead. Perhaps you'd develop a new skill, strengthen a relationship, or tackle a personal challenge with renewed focus. By shifting your mindset, you create space for meaningful progress. Of course, this transformation won't happen overnight. Breaking the habit of comparison requires consistent practice and mindfulness. Start with small daily steps. When you notice yourself slipping into comparison, pause and redirect your thoughts. Write down something you're proud of, or take a moment to remind yourself of your unique path. Over time, these practices become second nature, replacing envy and dissatisfaction with confidence and contentment. Imagine waking up each morning free from the weight of comparison, ready to face the day with clarity and purpose. Instead of being distracted by what others are doing, you're focused on your own goals, values, and progress. This is the life Stoicism offers, a life where peace and fulfillment come not from external validation, but from internal alignment. What about you? What's one way you can start letting go of comparison today? Perhaps it's limiting time on social media, reflecting on your achievements, or setting a personal goal that excites you. Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear how you're focusing on yourself and reclaiming your time. And if this message resonates, take a moment to like this video and subscribe for more Stoic insights. Together, let's create a community that celebrates personal growth over perfection. Comparison, as the Stoics teach us, is a choice. It's a habit that can be unlearned, a mindset that can be reshaped. The time you spend measuring yourself against others is time stolen from building the life you deserve. So, the next time you feel the pull of comparison, ask yourself, am I using this moment to grow, or am I wasting it? the answer will guide you toward freedom. Let's begin this journey of self-focus and self-mastery, starting today. Principle 2. Define your priorities. Once you stop comparing yourself to others, the next step is to decide what truly matters in your life. Without clear priorities, it's easy to become consumed by distractions, busy for the sake of being busy, chasing goals that aren't your own. But as Marcus Aurelius wisely observed in Meditations, if you seek tranquility, do less. These 4 simple words encapsulate a profound truth. Happiness and clarity don't come from doing everything, but from focusing on what's important. Prioritization isn't just a strategy for success. It's a philosophy for living a purposeful life. Imagine Peter, a chef renowned for his culinary talents. For years, he managed a chain of high-profile restaurants across multiple cities. From the outside, Peter's life seemed like the pinnacle of success, awards, wealth, and recognition. But beneath the surface, he was exhausted and disconnected. Long hours and endless responsibilities left little time for the craft that once ignited his passion: cooking. Instead of experimenting with recipes or interacting with customers, his days were consumed by meetings, spreadsheets, and logistical nightmares. One evening, while flipping through a philosophy book, Peter came across Marcus Aurelius's words, "If you seek tranquility, do less." These words felt like a revelation. He realized his life was overflowing with commitments that didn't align with his true priorities. Peter made a bold decision. He sold most of his restaurants and focused on a single, modest bistro in his hometown. Here, he returned to what mattered most to him, crafting dishes with care and engaging with his customers. The change wasn't easy. He faced criticism for downgrading his career and walking away from fame. But Peter discovered a profound sense of peace and fulfillment in his smaller, simpler world. His bistro thrived, not because it was the biggest or most luxurious, but because it reflected his authentic self. By defining his priorities, Peter not only regained his joy, but also inspired others to value what truly matters. Stoic philosophy reminds us that defining our priorities is essential to living a life of purpose. Without clear priorities, we risk spending our energy on pursuits that drain us rather than fulfill us. Marcus Aurelius often emphasized the importance of intentional living. Ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary? This question challenges us to evaluate how we spend our time and whether our actions align with our values. In a world that glorifies multitasking and endless ambition, Stoicism offers a countercultural perspective. Less is more. To prioritize effectively, we must first understand our values. What truly matters to you? Is it family, personal growth, creativity, health, or community? The answer isn't universal, it's deeply personal. The key is to identify your unique priorities and let them guide your decisions. Reflecting on your priorities can feel overwhelming, especially in a society that bombards us with conflicting demands. But the process can be simplified by focusing on what brings you fulfillment, not fleeting satisfaction. One practical way to begin is by creating a list of your top 5 priorities. Start by asking yourself, if I could only focus on 5 things in my life, what would they be? Write them down. These priorities could include nurturing relationships, advancing your career, maintaining your health, pursuing a creative passion, or contributing to your community. Once you've identified them, take it a step further. Rank them in order of importance. This exercise forces you to confront the reality of your choices. Are you devoting your energy to what matters most, or are you distracted by less important pursuits? With your priorities defined, the next challenge is to align your daily actions with them. Peter's story illustrates the transformative power of this alignment. By letting go of what didn't serve his priorities, he created space for what did. Similarly, you can begin each day by dedicating at least 15 minutes to your top priority. For example, if improving your health is your goal, spend those minutes exercising, preparing a healthy meal, or meditating. If deepening relationships is your focus, use that time to connect with a loved one, free from distractions. These small, intentional acts accumulate over time, creating a life that reflects your true values. But prioritization isn't just about doing, it's also about saying no. Marcus Aurelius advises, "Do not be ashamed of being helped. What ought to matter to you is this: achieving the purpose for which you were born." To focus on what matters, we must learn to let go of what doesn't. This may mean declining opportunities that don't align with your priorities, reducing time spent on unproductive habits, or even distancing yourself from people who drain your energy. It can be uncomfortable, but it's a necessary step toward living authentically. Of course, challenges will arise. Priorities often compete for attention, and it's easy to fall back into old patterns. When this happens, pause and reflect. Ask yourself, is this choice helping me move closer to my goals, or is it pulling me away? This moment of clarity can prevent you from being swept up in distractions and keep you grounded in your purpose. Imagine what your life could look like if every decision you made aligned with your top priorities. Picture waking up each morning knowing that your time and energy are invested in what truly matters. This isn't an idealistic fantasy, it's a practical reality that Stoic principles can help you achieve. The process begins with self-awareness and a willingness to take small, consistent steps. What about you? What's one thing you're doing today that truly aligns with your priorities? Reflect on this question and share your thoughts in the comments below. By sharing, you inspire others to reflect on their own lives and create a ripple effect of intentional living. And if you found this message valuable, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more Stoic insights. Together, we can build a community that prioritizes what matters and supports one another on this journey. Defining your priorities is not a one-time task, but an ongoing practice. Your values may evolve, and your priorities may shift with time. The key is to remain adaptable while staying true to your core principles. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, tranquility comes not from doing more, but from doing what matters. So, take a moment today to pause, reflect, and redefine your path. The power to focus on what truly matters lies in your hands. Begin now. Principle 3. Embrace solitude. Now that you've identified your priorities, it's time to carve out the space to connect deeply with yourself. In a world that never stops moving, filled with constant notifications, noise, and distractions, solitude is often misunderstood as loneliness. But Stoicism offers a profound perspective. Solitude is not isolation, it's an opportunity to reconnect with your inner self, gain clarity, and restore your energy. As Seneca wrote, "Nothing, to my way of thinking, is a better proof of a well-ordered mind than a man's ability to stop just where he is and pass some time in his own company." Consider the story of Dr. Robert, a biologist renowned for his groundbreaking research. Despite his professional success, Robert often felt overwhelmed by the demands of his work and the endless flow of meetings and emails. One morning, exhausted and seeking reprieve, he decided to take a walk in the forest near his home. At first, it was just a way to escape the pressure, but soon it became his daily ritual. Every morning, he spent 30 minutes walking among the trees, listening to the rustling leaves and letting his thoughts flow naturally. These moments of solitude didn't just provide peace. They sparked insights that helped him solve some of the most complex problems in his research. By stepping away from the noise and reconnecting with himself, Robert found the clarity and creativity he had been missing. This story illustrates a key Stoic principle. Solitude is not about withdrawing from the world, but about creating space to recharge and reflect. It's a time to silence external influences and tune into your inner voice. The wisdom of Seneca resonates deeply here. Taking time to sit with yourself is a sign of strength, not weakness. It's in these quiet moments that you can evaluate your priorities, reassess your goals, and reconnect with what truly matters. But why is solitude so powerful? In the rush of daily life, our minds are often cluttered with external demands and distractions. Solitude allows us to declutter, to sift through our thoughts without interference. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of retreating into oneself. People seek retreats for themselves, in the country, by the sea, or in the mountains. You too are inclined to desire such things, but this is altogether unphilosophic when it is possible for you to retire into yourself at any hour you please. The greatest retreat, according to the Stoics, is not a physical place, but a mental state, a quiet mind. However, embracing solitude isn't always easy. In a culture that values constant productivity and connectivity, taking time for yourself can feel indulgent or even unproductive. The fear of missing out, FOMO, or the pressure to always be available often prevents us from fully appreciating the power of solitude. Yet, this is precisely why it's so important. By stepping away, even briefly, you regain control over your attention and energy. Think about the last time you spent meaningful time alone. Was it a moment of calm, or did it feel uncomfortable? Did you learn something about yourself, or were you preoccupied with external distractions? Solitude is a skill, and like any skill, it requires practice. Start small. Dedicate just 10 minutes each day to silence. No phone, no music, no interruptions. Sit in a quiet space, close your eyes, and simply observe your thoughts without judgment. This practice, though simple, can have a profound impact on your mental clarity and emotional well-being. Another powerful way to embrace solitude is through journaling. Writing down your thoughts, even for a few minutes, allows you to process emotions, gain perspective, and uncover insights that might otherwise go unnoticed. Think of it as a conversation with yourself, a space where you can be honest and vulnerable without fear of judgment. What's weighing on your mind? What are you grateful for? What challenges are you facing, and how can you overcome them? These questions, explored in solitude, can lead to remarkable self-discovery. Solitude also provides a sanctuary for creativity and problem-solving. Dr. Robert's experience in the forest highlights this beautifully. By giving himself permission to disconnect from his work and immerse himself in nature, he unlocked ideas that might never have surfaced in the chaos of his office. Whether you're an artist, a scientist, or simply someone navigating life's complexities, solitude offers the clarity needed to see solutions and possibilities. But solitude isn't just about solving problems, it's also about finding peace. In the quiet, you can cultivate a sense of gratitude and contentment that often gets lost in the noise of daily life. Seneca reminds us that a well-ordered mind finds joy in simplicity. When you strip away the distractions, you're left with what truly matters: your thoughts, your values, and the beauty of the present moment. As you consider the role of solitude in your life, ask yourself, what would happen if I gave myself the gift of silence today? Imagine sitting quietly, free from expectations, and letting your mind wander. What insights might emerge? What burdens might lift? Solitude doesn't require grand gestures, just a willingness to pause and be present with yourself. To embrace solitude more deeply, start with a small ritual. Each morning, before diving into your responsibilities, spend 10 minutes in stillness. This could be sitting on your porch, walking in nature, or simply closing your eyes and focusing on your breath. If mornings are too hectic, carve out time in the evening to reflect on your day. Write in a journal, meditate, or simply sit in silence. Over time, these moments of solitude will become a sanctuary, a space where you can recharge and realign. What about you? When was the last time you spent meaningful time alone? How did it make you feel? Share your experience in the comments below. We'd love to hear how you connect with yourself. And if this message resonates, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more ways to nurture your inner self. Together, we can build a community that values the power of quiet reflection. Solitude isn't about escaping the world, it's about preparing to engage with it more fully. By taking time to reconnect with yourself, you build the strength, clarity, and resilience needed to navigate life's challenges. So, what step will you take today to embrace solitude? Whether it's 10 minutes of stillness, a walk in nature, or a moment of journaling, give yourself the gift of time. In the silence, you might just find the answers you've been searching for. Let's begin. Principle 4. Focus on what you can control. Now that you've embraced solitude and reconnected with your inner self, the next step is learning where to direct your energy. In a world full of uncertainties, one of the most liberating Stoic principles is the idea of focusing solely on what lies within your control. This shift not only preserves your peace, but also empowers you to navigate life with clarity and purpose. As Epictetus wrote, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." Let's consider the story of Daniel, a young entrepreneur whose first business venture failed spectacularly. For months, Daniel poured his heart into building a tech startup, working long hours and investing his savings. Despite his efforts, external factors, an economic downturn, a competitor's breakthrough, and an unexpected supply chain issue caused his dream to crumble. Devastated, Daniel couldn't stop dwelling on the what-ifs and the factors beyond his control. Sleepless nights and endless self-blame consumed him, leaving him paralyzed. One night, while aimlessly browsing online, Daniel stumbled upon a quote from Marcus Aurelius. "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This was a turning point. He realized that while he couldn't change the past or influence market conditions, he could control how he responded to the failure. Daniel began to focus on what he could rebuild: his skills, his network, and his resilience. He started journaling each morning, creating 2 lists: what I can control and what I can't control. Slowly but surely, this practice helped him reclaim his confidence and clarity. Within a year, he launched a new business, this time grounded in lessons from his earlier setbacks. Daniel's story embodies the essence of this principle. By focusing on what you can control, you reclaim your energy and direct it toward meaningful progress. Too often, we waste precious time and emotional resources on things beyond our influence. The opinions of others, unpredictable outcomes, or circumstances that unfold despite our best efforts. Stoicism teaches us that true power lies in recognizing the limits of our control and choosing to act wisely within those boundaries. But what does it mean, practically, to focus on what you can control? Begin by acknowledging the distinction between external events and your internal responses. While you can't prevent a storm from disrupting your plans, you can control how you prepare and adapt. While you can't dictate how others behave, you can choose how you respond to their actions. This mindset shift is not about passivity, it's about prioritizing where to invest your energy. Reflect for a moment. How often do you stress over things you can't change? Perhaps it's a difficult coworker, a missed opportunity, or even the unpredictability of global events. Imagine how much lighter you'd feel if you redirected that energy toward improving yourself or supporting the people you care about. The mental clarity that comes from letting go of uncontrollable worries is transformative. One effective practice for implementing this principle is to start your day with a mental reset. Ask yourself, what's within my control today? Write down 1 or 2 actions that align with your goals or values. For example, if your priority is personal growth, commit to reading a chapter of a book or practicing a new skill. If your focus is on relationships, make a conscious effort to listen attentively during a conversation. These small, deliberate actions build momentum and reinforce the habit of focusing inward. Another powerful exercise is what Daniel practiced, creating 2 columns in your journal. In the first, list everything that's causing you stress or worry. Then divide these into 2 categories, in my control and out of my control. Under the in my control column, write actionable steps. For example, if you're worried about a presentation at work, focus on preparation, practicing your speech, refining your slides, or rehearsing with a colleague. Under the out of my control column, consciously release those items. Remind yourself that obsessing over them won't change the outcome and shift your focus back to the actionable. Let's pause here and reflect. When was the last time you found yourself consumed by something outside your control? Did it help or hinder your progress? Share your experience in the comments below. By discussing these moments, we can inspire each other to adopt a more stoic approach to life. One fascinating aspect of focusing on what you can control is the ripple effect it creates. When you let go of trying to manage everything, you free up mental and emotional bandwidth. This not only improves your productivity, but also enhances your relationships and overall well-being. People around you notice your calm and composed demeanor, and this often inspires them to adopt similar habits. You become a source of stability in an otherwise chaotic world. But focusing on what you can control doesn't mean ignoring the challenges of life or dismissing genuine concerns. It's about acknowledging those challenges and choosing to respond in ways that align with your values and priorities. For example, if you're navigating a conflict, you can't control the other person's reaction, but you can approach the situation with empathy and assertiveness. This balanced approach reduces unnecessary stress and keeps your actions aligned with your principles. Marcus Aurelius offers timeless advice. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. This wisdom reminds us that we don't need external validation to live virtuously. Focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, decisions, and actions, is a direct path to integrity and inner peace. Each day offers countless opportunities to embody this principle, whether it's by showing kindness in the face of rudeness, staying composed during a stressful situation, or persevering in the pursuit of a meaningful goal. As you consider this principle, ask yourself, what's one thing you can do today to focus on what's within your control? Perhaps it's setting boundaries, managing your time more effectively, or practicing gratitude for what you already have. Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear how you're applying Stoic wisdom in your life. And if this resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more practical Stoic insights. The beauty of this principle lies in its simplicity. By focusing on what you can control, you not only reduce unnecessary suffering, but also cultivate resilience and clarity. Life's uncertainties will always be there, but your ability to navigate them depends on where you direct your attention. So, what will you focus on today? Let's begin. Principle 5. Let go of external validation. The final principle is perhaps the most liberating, freeing yourself from the need for approval. After defining your priorities, embracing solitude, and learning to focus on what you can control, the next step is to unshackle yourself from the constant craving for external validation. This principle is central to Stoicism, which teaches that true contentment comes not from the praise of others, but from living in alignment with your own values. Marcus Aurelius encapsulates this idea succinctly. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Consider Sophia, a young artist whose career seemed to be flourishing. She regularly posted her work on social media, where likes and comments flooded in. At first, the attention felt exhilarating. It validated her talent and gave her a sense of belonging. But over time, Sophia noticed a troubling pattern. Her creativity began to revolve around what her audience wanted. She spent more time worrying about how her pieces would be received than on creating art that truly resonated with her. The need for approval became a heavy chain, restricting her freedom to express herself authentically. One day, overwhelmed by the pressure, Sophia decided to step back. She stopped posting her work online and focused solely on her art. At first, it felt isolating, like shouting into a void. But as days turned into weeks, she rediscovered the joy of creating for its own sake. Without the need for external validation, Sophia found her creativity flourishing. She realized her worth wasn't tied to others' opinions, but to her own dedication and authenticity. Marcus Aurelius's words became her guide. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Sophia's story reveals a powerful truth. The more we chase external validation, the further we stray from ourselves. In today's hyper-connected world, it's easy to fall into this trap. Social media, performance reviews, and societal expectations constantly feed us messages that our value is measured by likes, accolades, or external recognition. But Stoicism reminds us that these measures are fleeting and unreliable. True satisfaction comes from within, from knowing that we are living in alignment with our principles and striving toward our own definition of excellence. But how do we break free from the grip of external validation? The first step is to recognize its impact on your life. Reflect on how often your decisions are influenced by the opinions of others. Do you hesitate to pursue a passion because you fear criticism? Do you modify your goals to fit someone else's expectations? Awareness is the foundation of change. Once you identify where external validation holds sway, you can begin to reclaim your independence. As you embrace this principle, remember that letting go of external validation doesn't mean rejecting feedback or connection. It means shifting your focus from seeking approval to seeking authenticity. When you stop asking, "What will others think?" and start asking, "Does this align with my values?" you create space for genuine growth and fulfillment. Let's pause and reflect. When was the last time you did something purely for yourself, without worrying about how it would be perceived? Maybe it was singing alone in your car, writing in a private journal, or pursuing a hobby just for fun. How did it feel to act without the weight of external judgment? Share your experience in the comments below. By reflecting on these moments, you'll begin to see the freedom that comes from focusing inward. One practical way to embrace this principle is to practice silent acts of integrity. Each day, do something meaningful without seeking recognition, whether it's helping a stranger, writing a thank you note, or dedicating time to a personal project. The act itself becomes its own reward, reinforcing the idea that your worth isn't contingent on others' approval. Another transformative exercise is self-praise. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect on what you did well. Did you handle a difficult situation with patience? Did you make progress on a personal goal? Acknowledge your efforts and give yourself credit. This practice shifts your focus from seeking external validation to cultivating inner confidence. But this journey isn't without challenges. The need for validation is deeply ingrained, often reinforced by years of societal conditioning. Breaking free requires patience and persistence. Start small. Choose one area of your life where you tend to seek approval and commit to acting differently. For example, if you're hesitant to share your ideas at work for fear of criticism, challenge yourself to speak up anyway. Focus on the value of your contribution rather than the response it receives. Imagine what your life could look like if you no longer relied on external validation. Picture pursuing your goals without fear, creating for the joy of it, and living in alignment with your true self. This isn't just a philosophical ideal, it's a practical reality that Stoic principles can help you achieve. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." These words are a call to action. Love yourself enough to prioritize your values over others' judgments. Sophia's story serves as a reminder that freedom lies in authenticity. By letting go of the need for external approval, she unlocked a deeper sense of purpose and creativity. You too can reclaim this freedom. Start today by choosing one thing to do purely for yourself, whether it's a creative project, a moment of self-care, or simply saying no to something that doesn't align with your priorities. Celebrate the act itself, not its reception. What about you? What's one thing you can do today without seeking approval? Share your reflections in the comments. We'd love to hear your journey toward inner freedom. And if this message resonates, like this video and subscribe for more insights on living authentically. Together, let's build a community that values authenticity over applause. Letting go of external validation isn't about isolation, it's about liberation. It's about recognizing that your worth isn't defined by others' opinions, but by your own commitment to living with integrity. So, what step will you take today to free yourself from the need for approval? Let's begin. These 5 principles are not just Stoic advice. They are a blueprint for reclaiming your life and finding true fulfillment. Each one invites you to focus inward, redefine your values, and build a life that aligns with what truly matters. From letting go of comparisons to embracing solitude, these practices empower you to take control of your energy and invest it where it counts, in your own growth, resilience, and authenticity. Imagine waking up each morning with a sense of peace, knowing that every action you take moves you closer to becoming the person you aspire to be. Picture a life where external noise no longer drowns out your inner voice, where your priorities guide your decisions, and where you find joy not in others' approval, but in your own progress. This is the freedom that Stoicism offers, a life of purpose, clarity, and fulfillment. Today, take the first step. Choose one principle and commit to practicing it consistently. Whether it's defining your priorities, letting go of validation, or simply spending a few moments in quiet reflection, every small step leads to profound change. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What principle resonates with you the most, and how will you apply it? Let's support and inspire each other on this journey. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more life-changing insights rooted in Stoic wisdom. Turn on notifications to make sure you never miss a new video. This is your space to grow, reflect, and thrive alongside a community of like-minded individuals. Your time is the most precious resource you have. Stop wasting it on what doesn't matter and start investing it in yourself. The journey begins now. Let today be the day you take control of your life and focus on what truly matters. Let's begin.